Hello and welcome to my Facebook Live straight from the tub. Today is 1:32, I believe, of 365 days. And my name is Jessica Lozano, and I am a relationship coach and feminine embodiment mentor. And I hope that, or a feminine embodiment mentor, helping women have extraordinary relationships with the love of their life. Whether you're a single woman and you are calling in this magnificent man, or if you're already with your magnificent beloved and you want to continue to evolve your love because your relationship is an upward spiral of love, it should never be stagnant. If it is, there's some things that need to get solved in there. So this is what I do. Now, I wanted to share, now that I've given you the entire story of how Ron and I came to be, I guess I want to continue to share even more of the things that are required, or maybe some energetics, some ways of being in the relationship that feel so regulating to your nervous system, that feel so like, wow, he gets me. He's interested. He's invested in me, in my own best interest. Like, he wants to make sure I am very well taken care of all the time. He wants to make sure that I'm good. So I'm going to give you a really small example, but this small example are things. Don't underestimate the small things. As a matter of fact, I know a lot of women question the little tiny things as if they're not important, as they're insignificant. I am here to tell you that even the smallest little things matter. The smallest little things matter. And what happens is we tend to gaslight ourselves into thinking that what we really desire and what we really want, what feels really good to us, doesn't matter, right? My hair is so frizzy. We gaslight ourselves, right? Because we've been gaslit by our parents growing up. We've been gaslit by teachers. We've been gaslit by society, or programmed, conditioned by society. We've been gaslit by our partners, and saying that what seemingly insignificant desires aren't important, when that's not true at all. Because these small little things that happen in your life are actually more frequent than the really big things. So if your partner or the man that you're dating can't he can't support you in the smallest things, or he doesn't understand you in the smallest things, or is not willing to understand you in the smallest things, most likely that's not going to be a good match. Most likely he's not the one. Why? Because your partner should always be invested in your best interest and not feel that it has anything to do with them. Now, can they voice how something is important to them and how they would like you to be there? Yes, of course. But it doesn't mean that that it needs to be like make it a big deal. I'm going to give you like a super small example of today. So Ron is going to visit. Today we were supposed to go visit my in-laws, right? And I'm not a fan of going over there. It's an hour away, but I go because I know it's really important to Ron. And like, of course, I want to have a relationship with my in-laws, despite any of the history that's been there. Today, I woke up in a mood. And I really did not want to go. Ron noticed something was up, and then he's like, I told him, I was like, I'm just irritated. He's like, well, do you actually really want to go? And I said, I don't know if I really want to go. I really don't know. So he's like, well, whatever you decide to do, I'm going to be okay with. Like, I will support you with whatever. And the first time that Ron ever did this for me, it was like my whole body like relaxed. Like he's always this presence in my life that my body just like, relax. Like, oh my God, wow. He's not pressuring me to go to see his parents. He's not making it a big deal that I don't want to go. He's not like doing any of this, which was a consistent thing in my previous relationship. God forbid I did not want to go to something with him, right? Which is very common in codependency. In most relationships, there's this an idea that you have to be like the old paradigm of relationships is that you have to be stuck by the hip. You have to do everything together. If you're going to go visit your parents, he has to go visit your parents. If he's going to go visit your parents, you have to go visit with him. It's like this idea that you have to do everything together, or you're not in a true romantic relationship, or the partner doesn't care about you, right? This is very old paradigm. This is exactly what my life was like in my previous relationship. This is what I hear a lot in partners, where it's just like this insecurity in one of the other person that they need the other person to always be there. So when Ron came and I was like, oh my God, wow, like, he's so interested in my own well-being that if he knows that something isn't going to feel right to me, he's not going to make me do it. He never makes me do anything that doesn't feel right. So it seems small. It seems insignificant. It seems like, well, why can't you just suck it up and go? Why, it's like, well, because in my mood today, I don't feel like going. And this shows up in all different ways in different relationships when there isn't a true caring about the other person's well-being and always wanting the other person to sacrifice for them. No, you do this for me. Sacrifice for me. Sacrifice for me. Right? And this feels like for you, like you're sacrificing yourself all the time. You're extracting from your feminine essence in order to appease your partner. It will not feel like that when you're in a sacred union relationship. Sacred union is the same thing as the one. It does not feel like that. It doesn't feel like you're ever sacrificing. It doesn't ever feel like your soul is being extracted. And if you ever do accidentally do that, you're able to have a conversation and create a very seamless standard, a very seamless way of communicating, a very seamless way of like, okay, how do we deal with this next time? Your partner should always care so much about your well-being, and vice versa, right? This isn't a one-way street. You should always care about your partner's well-being. You don't ever have to be stuck by the hip, and you don't ever have to sacrifice yourself, especially consistently for your partner. In my experience, there is no sacrificing. There is no sacrificing. When I moved up to Jersey, I didn't sacrifice my life to go move up and uproot my life for him because of that. I made that sovereign decision by myself. Moving down to Florida was a big deal. And I remember telling Ron, like, I really want you to do it for you. Like, I want this to be, I don't want you to move for me and sacrifice for me. Right? This was a big conversation. This was a big deal. Moving back down to Florida. I knew it was going to be a big deal. And Ron, he came because he faced his biggest fears, his biggest challenge. And this is what the sacred union is all about. Like, you're always following the truth of your heart. You're always following your soul, which requires you to always face your biggest fears. This is why one of the topics I'm really going to be talking about inside of the One Masterclass is about this leading with your truth at all times, no matter what. Leading with your truth at all times, no matter what you think is on the other side, whether it's going to be your biggest fear, which is usually two things. Usually on the other side is either going to be your biggest fear or what you really want. But you have to be willing to face both of these realities in order for you to be living your soul-led life. And your soul-led life is the frequency of the one. If you're leading a fear-led life, you're living through your shadow, and you're going to have shadow-matched relationships. If you're living a life where you think that all your tiny little desires or the things that make you, what some people would consider insignificant things, and you don't listen to yourself and you gaslight yourself about those things, you're living a shadow life. You're leading with that energy. So you're only going to attract shadow matched relationships. And those relationships aren't invested in your best interest. They're not invested in your best interest because it is all about tearing apart, not tearing apart, exposing your deepest fears, exposing your deepest wounds that you have yet integrated into wholeness within you. That is the purpose of shadow matched relationships, which is why I'm so grateful for the relationship I was in before, because it taught me so much about living and standing in my truth. And standing in my truth, I continue to get rewarded, quote unquote, by life, because I'm not playing small, right? The frequency of the one, the sacred union relationship is never about playing small. It's about living all out intimately, living all out vulnerably, living all out courageously, living all out in the things that you would consider insignificant that honestly are not insignificant. They are so important. If it's important to you, it should be important to him. He should care about that. That is a requirement in a relationship. A requirement. So what else do I have to say about that? I don't think I have to say anything else to say about that. I think I just wanted to give you a little powwow here from the tub. I think I ran the laundry too much because the tub isn't as hot. Anyways, so that's what I wanted to share with you. The one, Finding the One Masterclass begins September 11th, and I would love to have you there. It is completely free. We're going to go into 4 modules about what it takes to have the most incredible love story of your life, right? What it takes to have the most incredible love story of your life. I want to walk you through the things that I walk through with my clients, all the time. We're going to talk about identity work. We're going to talk about generational wounds. We're going to talk about why do you get attracted to shadow match relationships, how that forms, what is required of you in order for you to move past that, what is required of you to be a match for the one, what is required of you in order for you to live full out and to have this relationship that feels like magic. I think it's raining. All right, so that's all I have to say for you. Oh, so if you're interested in this masterclass, I'd love for you to join. Just send me a DM or comment the one, and I will send you the link. And we start September 11th inside of Facebook, and we also have a Telegram group that is for a VIP for $44 for 11 women who want to have direct coaching and breakthroughs within these 7 days, and who would love to talk directly about the modules with me and workshop it together with what's happening in your life. It's going to be a very intimate group with women who hold each other to the highest light and power, who can see each other's powers, who can hold each other's, shadows and insecurities, right? With deep self-love and just being there for each other. So this is only $44. It is the best. That's a freaking deal. And you're going to come out of these 7 days holy shit, wow, renewed. So, message me if you're interested in that, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.